Hello, today we are going to learn about electronics. Before we start this course, we need to start from the basics. So, what is electronics? So, electronics is a branch of science and engineering. So, as a science, electronics has theory and principles, and also as engineering, it is a field studied in colleges and universities. And this electronics is concerned with study, design, development, and application or use of devices that control the flow of electrons or flow of charge carriers. And sometimes people are confused between electronics and electronic. So let us also define this. Electronic is device and that controls or manipulates the flow of electrons or electric current. So these electronic devices control the flow of current and also can increase or decrease voltage and can also shape signals like converting AC to DC or other signals. By what? By manipulating or controlling the flow of electrons. So examples of these electronic devices are diode, transistor, capacitor, and integrated circuit, and so on. So electronic so electronics studies, develops and designs these electronic devices, and these electronic devices do switching signals like transistor and amplify signals like also like transistor, and storing like battery and capacitor, and also these electronic devices do converting signals. So these electronic devices together build one electronic system or device like mobile phone, computer, and so on. So all these are called what? Called electronic devices or electronic components. And let me ask you some question. Can a wire be considered as electronics? A wire is not electronic component because it does not control or manipulate the flow of electrons. So it is just allows current to flow through it. And these electronic devices are categorized into two types, which are active devices and passive devices. Let us start from active devices. These active devices require an external power supply or bias to operate properly. Without this external power supply, these devices cannot do their function by themselves, and these active devices must be connected to a source like a battery or DC power supply or AC power supply, which is otherwise these active devices cannot operate. And when we say requires bias to operate properly, it means what? It means these active devices require applying a fixed DC voltage or what, or current to operate. And let us see this in detail. As we know, transistor is an active device. So if we connect this NPN transistor with battery and as load with LED, as we can see, we connect what? We connect two terminals of this transistor, which are a collector and emitter. We will see this in detail in transistor lesson. Now, as we can see, it is not operating because of this LED is what, off. In any NPN transistor, current flows as conventional electron flow from collector to what, emitter. So to operate this transistor, we need to connect this device to an external power supply, or we have to apply DC to uh, we have to apply DC. So we use this base terminal of this resistor and connect to our power supply. Now LED is what? LED is on because this transistor starts to operate by what? By connecting to external power supply. So in active device, a small current or signal into base can control this large current from collector to emitter. As we can see, base current is 8 milliamperes and current on LED is what? 20 milliamperes. And if we remove this external power supply, LED is what? Is turns off because this transistor stops operation. So this transistor can amplify, as we can see, from 0 voltage to maximum voltage, or from 0 current to maximum current. And also it can control current, which is by what? By on and off. So these active devices can what? Can control current, voltage or power, and can amplify signal or voltage or current using external source, not by themselves, and also can generate signals like transistor on off pulse. And these active devices are usually provide power gain. Means what? They can increase input they can increase output power and current or voltage. So examples of these active devices are what? Are transistor. As we saw, it needs external power supply to operate. And also examples of these active devices are also integrated circuit, and this integrated circuit is why this integrated circuit is active device? Because IC is built built from what? Built from uh, multiple transistors. So it is these transistors are active devices. So this IC is, or integrated circuit is, active device. Consider that active device. And also vacuum tube, and also operational amplifiers, and so on. These are active devices. And as we saw, as we so as we see, conditions for an electronic device to be an active device are what? First, device requires an external power supply, and second, device can control current, voltage, or power, and the third condition is what? Device can provide amplification or gain. So one device to be active device, it uh, must provide these conditions. Now let us see passive devices. Passive devices do not require an external power supply or bus to operate properly. Like what? Like active devices. And these passive devices cannot amplify signals. They can only store, dissipate, and transfer energy. Let us see this in detail. Resistor is a passive device. If we connect this resistor to battery and LED turns on. So this resistor operates, as we can see, without what? Without external power supply support. So examples of these passive devices are we say that a resistor cannot amplify and cannot need an external power supply, so it is a passive device. And this resistor cannot control current, it is just limit current flow and make what? Dissipates energy. And other example of these passive devices are capacitor. Also, capacitor is not applying or wants uh, external power supply, it just source energy. And also inductor, and inductor is also what? Example of passive device. And also transformer is a passive device because transformer just transfers energy. For example, a step-up transformer also cannot be active device because of what? Because it steps up voltage, but when we see the power of this transformer by calculating ratios, it is same. So the other question in this passive and active device is I give you is what? Is Diode is diode passive or active device? Diode is a passive device because it does not need external power supply, and also it cannot amplify gain or give gain or output. Mm, and also this diode is active device because it is non-linear. This means what? Non-linear means what? The relationship between current and the voltage is not proportional, and this graph is what? Not a straight line. And all passive devices are linear in ideal conditions. So from this, diode is passive and non-linear at same time. So it can be considered as what? As passive and active device. And also a battery is passive or active device. A battery is what? Is voltage source, and also it is active source. So a battery is neither an active device nor passive device. Battery is not passive because it does not consume energy like a resistor, or just store like capacitor or inductor. It delivers energy. And also battery is not active device because it does not control or amplify signal and does not require what? Require an external power supply.